it is a fact that the Russian list of people from Montenegrin officials who are proclaimed to be persona non grata in Russia already exist. But it is not public, and Russia officials have rejected to publicize the list. But they said, and they have instructed through a spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Russia, that all citizens of Montenegro should ask in the embassy of Russia in Montenegro if they are allowed to travel to Russia, which is quite unusual. On the other side, Montenegro, in this moment, as far as I know, does not have its own list with these names, but it does have. Montenegro have already joined EU sanctions in general against Russia, including some of the Russian officials. So basically, Montenegro is following European Union policies in these matters, and it might happen that Montenegro will add few names to this list, and it is still in the area of speculation who might be on this list, and but it is in this moment it might be said that some of the names that were deeply involved in the attempt of the coup in Montenegro will be on that list.
And are there any possible assumptions who could be these people that were involved in the alleged coup d'etat in Montenegro last year?
As I heard also from media reports and speculations that people like Russian tycoon Timofeyev, the owner of this, I think, Tsarigrad TV station, and some other people around him will be on that list, or might be on that list, because it was obvious, because in the middle of these happenings prior and after the elections in Montenegro, this TV station and Mr. Malofeyev had a significant propaganda impact in Russia, but also in some media here in Montenegro.
Why does the Russian side need this story? Because in a few days, Montenegro will become the member of NATO. So what's the point to initiate this story with entry bans? How do you think?
But not only that. This is only a surface. This is only top of the iceberg. Russia is doing many more things against Montenegro, and including this attempt of the coup, which was obviously organized with the consent, silent, direct or indirect consent of the Russian authorities, because some of the people from Russian intelligence forces were involved in that. So that economical sanctions, sanctions against people, media pressure, cyber attacks, those are some of the things that are on the list of the pressures that Russia is imposing on Montenegro in the last year or two. This is a very unfortunate situation, because nobody that expected in Montenegro, at least we didn't expect this to happen in such a strong and energetic manner since our long-lasting friendship with Russia. Because it is obvious now that Russian friendship lasts only until the point where Montenegro or any other country from the Western Balkans shows its own will and its own interest to protect its own interests. Because our interest is to join European Union and to join Euro-Atlantic integration and to join NATO. So it was never hidden from in the time when Montenegro was gaining independence in 2006. Even from 2006 till today, Montenegrin leadership was never hiding this intention. But in that time, relations between NATO and Russia were in different mode. But as the situation between NATO and Russia were worsening, also the Russian attitude towards Montenegrin membership to NATO was also getting in that very negative gear, let's say. So in this sense, we didn't expect this to be on such a strong scale. but I think it's strategically very wrong from the Russian side, because they are breaking up, let's say, centuries old friendship with Montenegrin people, because really this is not accepted that in the 21st century, in the time of modern communication, one country, however it's big and strong as Russia, is trying not to allow other independent country and friendly country as Montenegro to choose its own way in terms of international relations, in terms of development in economical and political sense.
In 2013, Russia has tried to ask the Montenegrin government for the permission to use its military facilities in northern Mediterranean. At least there is such information in media, and it was rejected because obviously the Montenegrin government has decided firmly to enter the North Atlantic Alliance instead. So could it be the real reason why Russia is still so much worried that Montenegro joins the North Atlantic Alliance, because it loses any hope to control the North Mediterranean?
It is a fact. Russia can accept or not accept that. NATO is controlling in this moment all countries of the North Mediterranean, from Portugal till Turkey. So basically, Montenegro was the last puzzle in this, last piece in this puzzle, let's say, and we have choose our way, because for us it was much more natural to join all our neighbors, because all our neighbors are, all our Mediterranean neighbors are already in NATO. We didn't feel any pressure from them. It was our choice. It was our interest to join NATO, and I don't think that, as I said, is the right way to answer on our interests, because we were not endangering interests of Russia. Nobody, at least when we were defining our own interest, we didn't calculate our own interest to damage Russia, but only to benefit to us, to Montenegrin citizens and society. So I don't see why the reaction of Russia is such a strong and such harsh and with such a hostility. But of course, I can understand the global interest of Russia, but I do believe there is always modalities to fulfill these interests, global interests of Russia, in a much more moderate way, through modern diplomacy, through economical interests, and through political cooperation, not through open confrontation and certain kind of new war that they are waging against us.